Okay, today I'm going to talk to you about time signature. Time signature. So at the beginning of your music, you always have these two numbers that are stacked. We're going to be talking about simple meters or simple time signatures today. These are time signatures where the beat is typically divided into 2 instead of 3. So when we're looking at a time signature, we'd have our clef sign first, right? Maybe a treble clef here, and then there's two numbers stacked right after it. So this is our time signature. When we're looking at this, the most important number to us right now is the top number. The top number tells us how many beats we get in a measure. Your music is divided into sections called measures. So this is called a measure. Just say that. Measure. That's this group right here. And this top number tells us how many beats we can fit into this measure here. And so it says I can fit 4 beats into my measure. Or 4 beats into this measure. 4 beats. Now, beats and sounds are different. We're not saying 4 notes, we're saying 4 beats. So if you need to check, there's an Understanding Rhythm video. If that's a little confusing to you, go back and check that out. So we have notes that are worth different values of beat. So let's say, like we talked about whole note. A whole note is 1 sound for 4 beats. So if our steady beat is here, that whole note's going to last 1 sound for 4 beats. Ba. So it's 1 sound for 4 beats. Okay? We could also put a half note here. That was worth 2 beats. And maybe we could put another half note if we wanted to. That would take up the other 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. So we got da, da. Okay? Or maybe something just entirely different. Maybe we have like maybe we've got a quarter note, a pair of eighth notes, maybe another quarter note, another quarter note. So this is worth 1. We talked about eighth notes are worth half a beat apiece. And here we have a pair of them. So this one gets half a beat, that one gets half a beat, so together they're worth 1. Another quarter note, so that's a total of 4 beats. And so I've got more than 4 sounds here. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sounds in that measure. So it would sound like this. Da, 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 da. Yeah. So my fingers are snapping the steady beat, and I'm saying the rhythm. Da, 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 da. We heard how this pair of eighth notes got 2 sounds on a beat. So this is what our time signature is telling us, that in each one of these measures, we're able to fit 4 beats worth of sound. So let's look at a different time signature. Let's look at maybe our second most common is beginners. We're looking at 3/4. So we're looking at our top number. Our top number tells us, that's right, how many beats we get in a measure. Okay, cool. And so I can get 3 beats. Looking back at my rhythm pyramid, I know I cannot fit a whole note in this measure because this is worth 4 beats, and that's more than 3, so that's not going to work. Okay. Maybe I could use a half note. It's worth 2. Right, and I've got 2. I've got 1 left. Maybe I put in a quarter note because that's worth 1 beat. If this stuff right here isn't making sense to you, go back to that video, Understanding Rhythm. You'll see the rhythm pyramid. You'll understand what I'm saying here. So we got this half note that's worth 2 beats, and this quarter note worth 1. So together we got da 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 da. And then, of course, we would go to the next measure after that one. I just repeated it just for demonstration. So we do the same thing in this measure, right? Maybe we have in this measure a pair of eighth notes, which are worth half a beat apiece. So since it's a pair, together they're worth 1. And maybe we have another quarter note here, which is worth 1, and then maybe we put another pair of eighth notes. Woo! So my music would sound like this. Here's my steady beat. 1, 2, it would sound like this. Da, 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 da. Yeah. So you can see how we get 3 beats in each measure. 2 plus 1 is 3. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. Okay? Let's look at something different here. Let's look at 2/4. Because that's a fairly common time signature for beginners. Oh, I'm going to put a 2 here now, right? Because my top number is telling me how many beats I get in a measure. So now I'm getting 2 beats in each measure. So we know we can't use that whole note again because that whole note's worth 4, and that's more than can fit in a 2-beat measure. So we can forget that. We could use a half note because that was worth 2. Yeah. We could use a quarter note here, and then we still have 1 beat left. Maybe another quarter note if we want. That takes up 2 beats, right? So here's my steady beat. Da, 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 yeah. Or maybe I want to switch this up. I can put in some eighth notes, which are half a beat apiece. Da, 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 like that. Okay, there you go. Put that to good use. We'll talk to you later.